Oh, here you go, more. Oh, whoa. Holy cow. Oh, this is great. Ouch! Oh my god. Hey, here comes the water.
Glaciers. They're thick masses of ice made up of snow buildup over many years. Eventually the snow piles on thick enough that the bottom layers fuse into ice due to pressure. Forms of glacial ice include ice caps, ice sheets, ice shelves, and of course glaciers. Glacial ice stores about 75% of the Earth's fresh water. According to nsidc.org, it also currently occupies 10% of the Earth's surface. Considering that only a mere 29% of the Earth's surface is continental land, that's a huge amount. Many glaciers are remnants of the last ice age. They grow when their amount of snowfall exceeds the rate at which they melt, and shrink when the rate at which they melt exceeds their amount of snowfall. There's a plethora of glaciers all over the globe, but to list a few. According to Daniel Glick from NationalGeographic.com, the U.S. of A's very own Glacial National Park located in Montana was once home to 150 glorious glaciers back in 1910. Today that number has dwindled to fewer than 30, and those few that still stand today have shrunken to a third of their former size. The Sperry Glacier, once a massive 800 acres wide, is now less than 250, a difference of about a square mile. To put that into perspective, that's about the equivalent of going from the size of 605 football fields to a mere 189. According to nrdc.org, the northern section of the Larsen B ice shelf in Antarctica collapsed between January and March of 2002. The portion that broke off was larger than the state of Rhode Island. Since 1995, Larsen B has shrunken 40%. Over the past 3 decades, more than 1 million square miles of perennial sea ice has melted. That's about the size of Norway, Denmark, and Sweden combined. Or just Kazakhstan. The Center for Atmospheric Research predicts that if the current rate of global warming continues, the Arctic could be completely melted in as little as 35 years, and our very own Glacial National Park will be reduced to simply National Park within 55. So it's clear that global warming is adversely affecting the Earth's glacial ice. Why does that matter? Is there any point to this video besides website quotes and yakety sack speed reels? Or am I just wasting your time because my geology teacher told me it was either this or a 10-page paper? A little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. When the temperatures rise, glacial ice melts and eventually flows into the ocean. This causes the ocean to warm and expand in volume, which results in a global oceanic sea level rise. It doesn't stop there though. Glaciers provide great albedo, or reflection of solar radiation. When that source of albedo is gone, the Earth's surface receives more solar radiation than it normally would have. This starts a vicious chain effect resulting in even greater warming, which accelerates the melting of glaciers even further, which results in even more oceanic sea level rise. Short term, this will affect the availability of fresh water sources for the local peoples, plants, and animals that depend on them. Long term, coastal regions around the globe will be swallowed by rising oceans. Coastal researcher Bruce Douglas estimates that every inch of sea level rise could result in 8 feet of horizontal coastal retreat. According to NRCD, Greenland holds 10% of the total global ice mass, and sea levels could increase by up to 21 feet if it melts. There's no doubt the Earth is heating up largely due to CO2 emissions of human activity since the Industrial Revolution. Since 1959, atmospheric CO2 levels have risen from 315 parts per million to more than 375 parts per million today. If things continue and the glaciers melt into vast amounts of fresh water, diluting into the oceans, it could cause change in oceanic temperatures and salinity. If the change is radical enough, President and Director of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution believes it could disrupt the North Atlantic thermal hotline circulation enough to slow or halt the Earth's natural oceanic circulation, resulting in drastic climate change. But don't worry about it, we'll probably have super rad Bioshock-esque underwater rapture cities by then anyway.